What's going on, you guys? I just wanted to pop on here right quick before we started the latest episode of the Bodybuilding Breakdown Podcast. First off, thank you to everyone who's tuned in to the Bodybuilding Breakdown so far. Our first episode, we had some really good feedback on that episode, so you'll see a lot more coming out of the podcast moving forward. I'm glad that I can bring that content to you guys. But as for this episode, myself and Josh Saunch over there at Bodybuilding News Network, we filmed this last night. It was Thursday night between 8:30 and 10:30 Atlantic time here, where we thought that the official competitors list was finalized for the Cali Pro, and it turns out that we had two more guys that were added to that list, being Sergio Oliva Jr. and Mohamed Chaban, which changes everything when it comes to the predictions that we did in this video. So if you guys want to know where I think the top three are really going to land in this show, I did put up a new video before I uploaded this podcast, so I'll link that for you guys here. You guys can check that out. And we also discussed Nick Trigili as well in this video and his channel and how long we think he'll be around and stuff like that. Anyway, that's also in my new video because, well, Nick's new channel got taken down. So if you guys are interested in that, feel free to check out that video before you actually get into the Bodybuilding Breakdown podcast here. But we still discuss a lot of other pretty cool stuff that I think you guys might be interested in. So again, thank you very much for tuning in. Enjoy the episode of the Bodybuilding Breakdown. Be sure to like and subscribe. We've got to test our underwater communications every time before we go diving, and the test wasn't quite what you just. I wish I would have got that recorded. Not quite like that, but yeah.
No. Can you hear Totoro?
I'm putting my ear up to the mic like it's going to help me hear. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
We thank you, sir.
Yeah,
ladies and gentlemen.
Animals.
No, just joking.
Yeah, what's going on? No. We are missing one individual who's mega late. Even though we were a little bit late, he's mega late. We got to start without him.
Mega late.
Yeah, mega late. That's a technical term. Yeah, that's a technical term. No, I was kind of rushing to get down here, get everything set up in the gym, and I always have a different place that I end up podcasting from, typically depending on who's home, who's not home, what areas might be available at home. I don't have a designated space in order to edit videos or do podcasts like this, but this is most of where I want to do it anyway. I just like doing it from my gym.
It gives the right vibe. It's the right energy.
I haven't seen any other podcast yet that I can remember where someone's podcasting from their gym.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of one.
Louis Marco, I think, used to do it every once in a while when he had videos up.
What about podcast?
Podcast, no, you're first there.
I will take the first. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
And that little slab of concrete right next to you before the door, you can put a big poster up saying the first fitness podcaster to post from their gym live now here. EP09.
Big, bold, bright letters. I like it.
Big, bold muscle.
Like I've got several things that it just ended up getting written on the walls in my gym from when my brother had to train here, when they shut down all the gyms during, I don't even know if it's a thing anymore to say the C word, but I'm just going to call it the C word.
The C word, yep.
Force of habit partly as well. But there was a couple of things that were wrote on the walls here. My brother, because sometimes he would train here and I wouldn't even be training. So he would use his grip chalk to write things on the wall. I'll show you one.
Okay. Whoa, you can take your camera with you. That's cool.
Yeah.
I need to upgrade to that. Yep. Yeah. Lightweight.
Yeah, lightweight's back there. I've got
ain't nothing to do it but to do it or whatever.
Yeah, ain't nothing to it that whatever he says.
Yeah, ain't nothing to it but to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, something epic. Behind my treadmill that's folded up there that doesn't get used, I'm giving it to my sister. It says shut up and lift. So go through my Instagram and you'll find these. Well, that's really it. The scribbles on my wall here. My son tried writing my name and then a drawing of sorts. It's wonderful. I'm keeping it forever.
Mm. Is that a Rihanna reference, a remake of Your Own Way? The Shut Up and Lift? Shut up and drive. Shut up and drive, drive, drive. No, that wasn't your thought process
I
going through
can
that?
I can tell you with 100% certainty that, sir, was not my thought
No,
process.
that wasn't
No.
the creative genius there.
This is a hardcore gym. It's not a fitness center.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, you don't listen to K-pop while you're working out?
Not lately.
Oh
Not
no,
lately.
maybe some
No.
vintage late '80s Japanese classic pop.
Although I'm not necessarily opposed, when I happen to train, things are a little bit louder than that.
Mm, okay.
Most of the pros out there will tell you that the louder the music, the harder you train.
Mm, science.
Bro science. It's
Hmm.
there.
I think the sound waves enter into the nuclei.
The nuclei. Indeed, they do.
Yes, yes, the bro nuclei.
I always watch Hunter Labrada's training videos that he posts on his Instagram, and he's pretty much always rocking some sort of like old school Lamb of God songs. And it's,
Mm,
yeah. How else are you going to do 6 plates, right?
on the squat.
No, on the deadlift.
Oh, okay, okay. I thought you were about to say bench. I was like, good lord.
No, that's Kevin Levrone.
That's how he tears the other pec.
Yes, indeed.
Then he'll be the peckless wonder in the top 10.
Oh, Lord, no. He's Hunter's actually looking really, really good lately, the best I've seen him. And I really hope he doesn't ruin it doing stuff like that. He's really lifting heavy and he's only 11 weeks out, so he can still get away with it. Not that I'm going to sit here and tell Hunter Labrada how to train, just my observation, but
Yeah, yep.
still pretty heavy. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, looking at the physique update he posted 2 days ago, um, with the black backdrop, I mean, he looks pretty solid for so far out from the show. I mean, between maybe it's a Texas thing because him and Keon are both super dialed in really, really early into the show prep.
And both of them have never looked better than they have
Mm-hmm.
until now, especially Keon. Like Hunter has notable improvements, I feel, but a lot of that is just attributed to him shrinking his waist. And he does look fuller and a little bit bigger and stuff like that. We're presuming from the whole foods that he switched to. But Keon is just almost completely revamped. It's unbelievable the transformation that guy made from the Olympia to now. It's unbelievable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the amount of fullness that guy has. I mean, you can only put it up to genetics to a certain point, and then you just got to be like, this dude's just a hard worker.
He's both for sure. He's
Yeah.
incredible. He's absolutely incredible. What show
Mhm.
was it? Is he doing Texas? I can't, or Chicago? I can't
It's
remember.
got to be Texas. Yeah. Maybe not, but I would assume Texas. He's going to do what the show probably closest to him, the easiest. I don't think anyone's going to be able to compete with him. I mean, he has the hype. He's got the record from last year's Olympia, so he's going to be in that inner circle for the conversation. The judges know him. The physique speaks for itself. I mean, what else does this guy got to do to win any show he walks into?
What if I told you that Kareth Bajo is also planning on doing Texas?
Why not defend the title? Nobody does this anymore. It grinds my tangent, grinds my gears. Nobody respects the idea of defending their title. So many people win shows, and then, I mean, you look at Patrick Moore as we start to move into the Cali Pro conversation. This dude won the Cali Pro 2 years ago, and then he had the opportunity to make that conversation about him being not just a flake after the Arnold Classic, not being that impressive. He has that opportunity to get that redemption piece and go for the 2-time California State Championships title. And then he just says, "Oh, I'm going to do the Texas." Doesn't tell us why. I mean, I didn't watch the video, but I can assume that he's not giving us a lot of detail. as to why he's not doing that show outside of blatantly. I mean, he just doesn't look like he's in shape.
I don't disagree. I wanted to just double check to make sure I wasn't misquoting. I thought I saw that Kareth Bajo was doing the Texas because yeah, he is defending that title.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you? Ian Valier was someone that was actually it's not it's a separate thing actually, but Ian was given a pretty hard time online about doing multiple shows throughout the year and taking away multiple titles, and that's another thing that is looking like it's could be an issue this year for several competitors because well, just this weekend coming, Tonio is about to go and do Cali after just winning New York. So essentially, well, not essentially, quite literally, he's taking away someone else's qualification.
Expect him at the Legion.
Okay.
It's right there. It's in his backyard. I mean, why not do it? He's done it before. He's won it before. I think he won it. Did he win it last year? Or did Clarita win it last year?
No, 2021 was Clarita where he beat Regan and Sergio.
Yeah. And then the year prior, Tonio won it.
Yes. And that's how he qualified for the Olympia. And that was his first open Olympia.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, what is the Olympia besides the premier show, the elite tier show? And you're going to have people that are competitive, people like Tonio who are coming in. They're barely getting close to 30 years old, only a few years competing. They've already won a lot of titles. They want to have the best opportunity possible to win the Olympia or improve in placings. So why not knock off those guys that maybe might get lucky with the perfect peak by taking away as many Olympia qualifications as possible?
Especially given the fact that it is still relatively early in the season. So let's say the Tonio does do 3 shows, takes away 2 other Olympia qualifications. So that's 3 now. What if he takes out 2 more individuals that could, in theory, surpass him between right now and the Olympia when it comes to improvements? The possibility is there. Let's say Sergio did show up to California. We don't know if he is or not. I think right now it's assuming that he's not. But not only could Sergio defeat Tonio, but Sergio could probably improve between now and the Olympia because he's been on for so long. He would have enough time to do an amount of time, whatever it might be, 12 weeks of a pullback or 8 weeks of a pullback in order to rebound and gain some, and then have 16 weeks to prep for the Olympia as a potential. But that's somebody that could defeat Tonio now. If Stuart Sutherland does end up defeating Tonio at this upcoming Cali Pro, who's to say that Stu could not improve between now and the Olympia to a point where he could defeat Tonio? Because there were a lot of people that had Stu beating Tonio. Well, I guess I shouldn't say a lot, but the argument was definitely there because Stu was noticeably bigger. He had some more roundness, I think, to the legs from the front, if I was going to give him certain things. Not that Tonio wasn't round, but if you really wanted to give anything to Stu,
has crazy round quads.
He does. Yeah, he does.
But Stu beat him on the thickness, the completeness.
That's what I mean. And he can improve upon that between now and the Olympia. So you know what? What we should do is we should look at the competitors here, and that's what we're going to do. We'll look at the competitors coming up for the segue. Yes, it's going to be an exciting show. I'm looking forward to seeing Ross Flanagan for sure. I've been following him a lot lately.
Love Ross.
Yeah,
cool dude.
Yeah,
interviewed him at the Arnold Classic. Really cool guy. Yeah.
Yep. Is that on your channel?
Did I interview him? I talked with him. I took a picture with him.
Okay.
Maybe he didn't want to do one in person. I don't know. I did so many interviews. I should probably go back to that memory card and double check, make sure I didn't just forget it.
I'm going to double check to see if Marx... yeah. Hard to keep them all straight. Mark still didn't see our message. Mark, if you're rewatching this, I don't know what happened. Shame on you indeed. I don't know what happened, and I'm sure that it's a legitimate excuse, and you're a good guy, so I'm not mad, but
I
we
wonder if
just
he's
miss
out
you.
there stealing gains while we're here creating content. He's out there making gains.
There are several different types of gains you can make.
Mm.
YouTube gains. That's what we're making right
Chipotle
now.
gains.
No, we don't have Chipotle around here.
No Chipotle up in Canada.
Oh, not in my neck of the woods. No, sir.
I mean, you have electricity clearly, so I mean, we do have a starting point.
We do. I do not live in an igloo.
You don't live in a barn like Mark.
Uh, no, I do not. No, I do not. One of my life goals is to train in that Marx Max Muscle Gym, though.
Ooh, okay. Life goals. That's nice.
It's not really a hard one to achieve either. I'm in New Brunswick on a semi-regular basis, and I'll just get over there to train with them at some point.
Ooh, yeah, in person, an in-person podcast. That'd be good.
Yep, 100%.
That's when I move to Dallas eventually. That's going to be like the big thing for me is I'm going to build my house to facilitate in-person interviews.
There you go. Yep. There you
Northern
go.
California, it's too expensive for bodybuilders, so there's not a lot of full-time bodybuilders living out here. So it's unfortunate.
Not like it used to be.
Yeah. Well, that's South Cali.
Okay.
Which is still super expensive, but that's like a 6-7 hour drive.
That's a whole other thing.
Yeah, all the way up here because people don't realize how big California is. But anywho,
yes,
we have. It looks like we have a huge rematch from New York Pro.
It'll be the rematch of the year so far for sure.
Yep.
Now Stu posted. So shout out to Muscle United _TV. Awesome Instagram. Yeah. They always line this stuff up. So you just click and the competitors are right there and you can get as I'm clicking and it's not coming up. There we go. You can get a real good comparison to these guys. Like these guys are awesome. Shout out to Muscle United _TV.
I should have thought of that.
So let's start with. Yeah. Well, hey man, good influence.
Yeah,
right?
I usually do like the focus of the person. The collages Indeed. I usually leave to Daniel.
Well, I'm going to leave it to Muscle United this time.
Or
this was 4 days out. Yeah, this was 4 days out from California.
Nutty. He's got to be one of the favorites. Top 2.
He's crazy. It's crazy. See what I was talking about with the legs and having that sweep from just right down to the teardrops, right into the hip tie-in. Usually guys are missing that hip tie-in quad sweep, and he's got it.
Mm-hmm.
The X frame is just insane. It's insane, and he's a good set of calves too.
Hey, Marx Max Muscle.
Hey, yeah, wherever you are. I'm just gonna keep digging at him the whole show.
Yep, that's his line, so we're taking it.
Yeah, exactly.
How cool is that? Yeah, the Arnold Classic commented on his post saying "Best of luck." Yeah, I'd screenshot that, print that on my wall.
100%. Kareth Bajo too, yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
Classic.
He looks like he's a little bit even potentially more dialed. He probably filled out a little bit, so that muscle's really pushing against the skin, right?
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
I would think. He's got more detail in the back than what I thought he was going to have going into the New York Pro. I figured that Tonio was just going to absolutely destroy him from the back, frankly.
Mm-hmm.
But and he did win the back poses, I think, quite decisively. But Stu did a lot. He looked a lot better standing next to Tonio from the back than I thought he would. But he said it himself that he's got to bring up especially those teres muscles, right? But he's when it comes to conditioning, he's already dialing that in at 26 years old.
Yeah.
And he does the big lifts. Oh, I guess the abs and thigh
would like to see more thickness. That those back shots just seem there's not a lot of that 3D look that I mean Tonio and even someone who seems to be very familiar with him, Dexter Jackson, both of those guys have really thick, dense, bubbly backs. I think that's something that Stu is lacking so far.
He is. He is. There's no question that Tonio took him in the back shots.
Yeah.
But he held his own better than I thought he would. I will say that.
Second place.
Joe Seaman was my favorite back double bicep of the night.
Yeah. Love
I will
Joe.
say that.
Good
Joe
dude.
Seaman was fantastic. Anyway, we're not recapping the New York Pro, but don't get me wrong, awesome show. I really enjoyed covering it.
Best package Joe's ever brought to stage, by far.
100%.
If you didn't see the side-by-side comparison of him in Toronto, it's lights out. I mean, it's insane. Anywho,
I did.
Shameless plug to Joe.
Yeah. No, we're big fans.
On the same
fans.
supplement company, so shameless plug.
Nice. So we know in around what we're going to get with Stu.
Yep.
And he's only got more of a chance to come back better. Stu might end up. Yeah, there you go, Stu. Yeah, it's possible. It's probably likely that Stu is going to do even better in Cali because oftentimes guys say, "I really wish I could have got on stage the day after the show. I looked so good, right?"
Yep.
Stu might be able to tap into just a little, and he didn't mess up his peak, but he still might have the ability to get a few points sharper.
Yep. Well, isn't that essentially messing up your peak if you're not hitting it at the peak? It might not be bad, but it could be better.
I'm picking up
a peanut butter sandwich is delicious, but if you add bananas, it's good. It's even better. Throw a little extra honey on that. It's even better. Maybe
quite
some
appropriate
Nutella.
For the
better. Okay, I'll stop.
Quite appropriate for no. Quite appropriate for the individual named Beef Stew.
Ooh, food reference.
I like it.
Zing.
I like it. Zing. I like it. Now, we'll continue on. Like I said, we know in around what we're going to get with Stu. Actually, it's funny because all these guys just competed in New York.
Mm-hmm. Exacto mundo.
But let's continue on. Slavoj Bednar.
Yep.
It's always interesting to see from one week to the other when these guys have a show in such close vicinity, what kind of improvements they may be able to make.
EP09 does not follow Slavoj Bednar.
I thought I did. Oh,
Tisk.
Tisk is right.
One of the prime pros out of Prague. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think he's a Prague.
Incorrect with any amount of certainty.
Central Eastern Europe.
Yeah. Slavoj Bednar is from the same area or the same country as Josef Vetten, I believe.
Okay.
So I believe, yeah.
Now, what are your thoughts on Slavoj and his potential here in Cali?
I think he looks good. I think he looks, as you would expect, a little bit more filled out. This was 2 days ago, so very close after 2 days or 1 day. I'm going.
Yeah,
1 day. Okay.
Really full delts.
1 day.
Really nice round delts. The feathering looks phenomenal.
He definitely showed up with pretty good conditioning.
Mm-hmm. The biceps really take over the arm shots. Makes his forearms look tiny.
Yeah.
Great biceps.
And I think it actually, he could use a bit more size through the chest to really be proportional, or maybe it's just an opposing execution thing where he's, but see, that brings out his traps too. He's got great traps. He's pretty solid all around. Midsection looks a little bit wider in this shot, but that could be the angle where he's standing off a little bit to the side.
Yeah. Historically, midsection's a little thicker.
Yeah. Look, it looks pretty good here. He's got good separation in the quads. It looks like good, but it could cut a little bit deeper, I think. Hope he doesn't spill over too far and then not be able to hit a peak again or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he does. He's got a great set of legs. Um, I would say the midsection is not complementary to his physique and his structure. I would say his most muscular needs to kind of like how he's doing it here, where the hands aren't completely in the middle, because he doesn't have the craziest wide clavicle insertions. The structure just isn't there. So he needs to optimize the width to make himself look as wide as possible. But it's a catch 22 because he does have a thicker midsection. So he's trying to do that Phil Heath and try to cover up the midsection. And it hurts him almost either way. So I guess maybe he's just picking the better of the two evils. You can get away with a narrow clavicle, structure, but you really can't get away from midsections after the whole Sean Roden, Phil Heath type storyline.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. If you go on the IFBB Pro League website and you look under the rules, the official rules, the only body part that is specifically listed, I believe it was Section 5 or a part of Section 5, it might have been a subsection, but it specifically says that essentially it says midsections that are out of proportion will mark you down for it. It doesn't say anything about arms or legs or anything else. It specifically mentions midsections, and that's been something, like you said, since that era of Sean Roden, Phil Heath, all these guys. Fans weren't having it anymore, and it seems like that's something that did come through to the IFBB rules. Now we can't find a revision, but anyway, that's something you guys can go and look that up on the IFBB Pro League website.
Yeah, Bob.
Yeah, Bob. Chris Bum said would have had a career if Classic didn't exist. But anyway. Oh, sorry.
Anyways.
Mark said the power's out again at his place. So sorry, Mark. We didn't know the power was out, bud.
Calling on your phone. No excuses. You're a full-time bodybuilder.
Yeah, you could just use your phone and come in with the Zoom
Mark, comment down below, ladies and gentlemen. Let us know. But in my opinion, in my professional opinion, I think Mark needs to have a hamster wheel set up to a generator so that he can podcast when the power's out.
I'll pin the comment. We should make a poll on our community tabs, actually.
If the fans want it, then Mark has to do it.
That's pretty much his mandate.
Yep. If you vote on it, he will do Tuesday.
Yep. Yeah. I'm glad that we were able to give Mark his due. It's too bad he's not here.
Enough plugs.
All right. Mariusz Tomzuk.
This
guy came in shredded, dude. He was shredded.
Yep.
Man. Yeah. I really am impressed by this guy.
Did you see his transformation from last year's New York Pro to this past one?
Is it on his Instagram here?
It might be in his tags, or I think it might even be on his wall. Yeah, right there in the middle. Look at that. 1 year difference.
I will say that there's an obvious difference in lighting, and he looks like he is sized differently. The New York Pro picture from last year looks like if you look at the uneven, if you look at the uneven footing, right?
Yep. Good call.
But with that being said, there's still notable improvements. He's harder.
He's harder. The
arms are bigger.
Right facing delt looks bigger.
I would say
maybe that's just posing.
Could be.
It looks like he's
definitely
more crunched up, like with the breath in, whereas the one from last year looks like the breath is out, where he's like more focusing on the core.
Yeah, you're right. I would say that he was more shredded through the upper body than he was the lower body. He came in shredded. You can see through the chest, especially, like really, really lean through there. He could have a bit more detail through the quads, but the detail's definitely there. Could be
Yeah.
cut a little bit deeper. But
Yeah.
overall, this is nothing to be upset with, his showing there.
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Kind of
definitely would
reminds
like to
me.
see more progress in the legs. They look
Yeah.
very almost identical.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Two different pictures, though, that's for sure.
Yep.
That's when you know that you've been covering bodybuilding for, well, long enough, we'll say. I haven't really been at this very long. But yeah,
The
let's see.
when you look at those
Post.
two photos, not we can move on. You don't have to stay on the photo, but old Bobby boy, has been putting people on the chopping block, on the guillotine, if you will, about the whole backdrop conversation and how people are stupid because whenever someone critiques somebody saying, oh, they don't need the fancy LED lights, good old Bobby boy, big old Bobby boy is saying, oh, the promoters
Well, what
spent
about the
over
sponsors?
$10,000 and the sponsors and all this stuff. There's so much money that goes into these LED backlights and backdrops. You can't just put up a simple backdrop with pictures and sponsors. But then you look at the old Mannion family in the Pittsburgh Pro, and you look at old Bev's gyms with Steve Weinberger, the two probably most infamous names in the Pro League, and both of those shows had canvas backdrops, ladies and gentlemen. Am I off here? Am I crazy? Have I been on Reddit too much? I don't know.
I don't think you can argue with the pictures and footage that we've seen from the New York Pro. Although, yes, Bob, we understand if you're not within the first 10 rows, then you really haven't seen the entire show. But even with that being said, for comparison purposes to other shows that have these massive LED lights and really, really bright flashing colors behind competitors as compared to what we just saw, that was a stage that was set up for competitors to highlight their physique in the best way possible. There is absolutely no question. It wasn't
Yep.
a plain backdrop, but it was a darker backdrop, and it worked for competitors' physiques. 100%. It was fantastic.
Yep. And you can't argue that because whenever you start adding more things to something, it saturates the picture. And I know old Bobby Boy isn't a photographer, and neither am I. And clearly NPC News Online needs to take some educational lessons on that because you got people like Gilco absolutely dominating the industry of photography nowadays. But that is simple Google when you look at saturation of photos and a photo backdrop composition. You know, my backdrop is very busy. EP09's backdrop looks very aesthetic. It's different, Bobby boy. Anywho,
It's a gym, Bob. It's a gym. Nah, I'm just kidding. Bob knows what a gym is. I'll give him that. Bob has put his time in the gym.
Yeah.
We'll give you that.
Yeah.
100%.
You know, it might have been a decade ago, but he put that work in for sure. Now he's putting the work in Chipotle.
He's got a $100,000. No, he's got a $100,000 Panada gym being installed in his home.
Oh, I think
yes.
He's taking a cue from EP09, and he's going to have his podcast from the gym live from.
If he does, we'll know where he saw it. But, you know, for the $100,000 that's being spent on equipment, that means that he'll have, you know, Panado equipment, $100,000. He'll probably have about 5 pieces of equipment in his gym. So that's cool.
Yeah. A whole 5 pieces. Yeah.
Yeah. Wicked. I'm sitting here with about that. Anyway. Anyway. Escape Mark. Now, of course, this is actually when me and Mark did the preview to the New York Pro, we got to Tony and we were like, we'll just get this one out of the way, but in the most endearing way possible, because this guy I don't think is going to be beat in California. I don't think that Stu is going to beat him. I think that Tonio is going to be as good, if not a tiny bit fuller. Mm-hmm. Now, I was firing a couple of messages back and forth with Tonio, and he said that was his plan, was to come in a little bit fuller, but otherwise, I mean, you don't fix what ain't broke, right? So that's what he's going with.
Yep.
He was
Yeah.
unbelievable at the New York Pro. He was the clear winner, and I think that he's going to be an even more dominant winner in California because I think he has less competition in California. With all due respect to
Mhm.
all the guys,
Yep. Of course.
I've got respect for all of those guys, but Tonio is just on another level lately.
All right, let me pee real quick. I'm gonna explode.
Oh, okay. I'll just sit here and hang out with all my friends. Yeah, he is. Tonio is just on another level. Unbelievable. I don't know how he made the improvements that he did in such a short period of time, but we've been seeing that from a fair few bodybuilders lately. Keon Pearson, we were talking about earlier, there's another really good example. Massive, massive improvements. But you also got guys like Beef Stew that are coming out of nowhere and they're doing really well against these guys. I mean, Tonio was at the Olympia last year. Stu, essentially, he did his, well, rookie season is what he was calling it. Not, it's his second pro show that he's done, but stacking up against Tonio for your second pro show, the New York Pro, no less. And I don't care what anybody says, that was not a weak lineup. Stu did really well. But Tonio is just too much. There's no question. He's just too much. He's too much for a lot of guys out there right now. He could probably go on to win 3 pro shows this year if he chose the right show. So this was a week ago. So this was, yeah, I remember this one from before the New York Pro, but all of this is post New York. I know he did some training with Hunter Labrada. Yeah. Yeah, he went down to the lean body gym and he did some training with Hunter. That must have been pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
But I would say, welcome back, sir. I would say that this is most likely your New York. He is your New York Pro champion, but I think this is most likely your California Pro champion.
Mm-hmm. Did you hear that solid stream going in there?
Not that I could pick up, but I'm going to listen back for it later.
Okay. Good job, microphone. Hey, not to always bring it back to the funny stuff, but man, when you have to pee and you pee like there's something magical about that. I don't know if it's just me or maybe ladies and gentlemen, let me know about your stream health down below, but I feel like I get like almost when you run up a pair of stairs, you're sitting in the basement watching TV as a kid and you got to sprint up the stairs to get food and you get that dizzy head rush.
I know what you mean.
Okay. Sometimes I get that when I pee. Should
Uh,
probably get that checked
um,
out though.
I mean, it wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't hurt.
Yeah. Also,
I had
does everyone fart when they pee?
not everyone, but I'm sure it's not uncommon, especially for the majority of our audience, assumed gym rats and bodybuilders,
Yeah.
consuming copious amounts of food.
Oof.
Probably not
Yep.
uncommon.
Yeah.
I actually, before I did this podcast, my daughter was in the shower and I really needed to piss before I got on here. So I had to go outside to piss. And of course,
Yep.
it's raining outside. So that was pleasant. But yeah, you got to do
I'm
what you got to do.
peeing in the rain.
I literally was. It's been pissing rain here all day. It sucks.
Yeah. Not in California.
Okay, Tonio, we
Dry
know
as a grandma. It's dead and barren.
Tonio. Okay. This this is where the show starts to get a little bit more interesting for me because you've got a couple of guys here that are going to be vying for I think that top 3 and it all depends on how they show up. Saunch Lee was a really interesting name on this list for me because if he shows up in shape, I've heard a number of people say that at this point, but if he shows up in shape, I don't know what's going to happen. If he comes in shredded, this isn't a good picture,
But
but you can
when
see how
has he come
huge
up?
he is.
When has he showed up shredded though?
I know. I know.
Like,
That's the
like
thing.
show me one picture of him on stage where he's at least 90%.
And he's got to be 100% against Tonio. Doesn't matter how
Has
big
to
he
be.
is, you know.
And he's super big. And he looked phenomenal at the Olympia the
He's
one time he qualified, but it's just the conditioning just isn't there to compete with some of the guys that, really nail the conditioning.
he's massive, dude. He's
Yeah.
massive, you know.
Very
And I
complete.
love that. Oh, full round, huge arms, massive,
Mm-hmm.
just crazy big.
And he's trained with
But
Milos, right?
I don't know.
I know he trains out of the Dragon Lair in Las Vegas.
Does he?
Yeah. Or at least he does often.
Are you confusing him with Jang Sung Yap? Maybe
No. I definitely know
no.
the 212 Mass. I know he trains out of there, yes. And I know he is training with um old
With
Milos.
Milos.
Yeah.
Well, none of these pictures are in the Dragon's Lair, and these are pretty much all gym pictures. Like this is
Huh.
this is Korea. If you look at the
Well, yeah, I
background,
know he definitely
that's
trained. That's his home gym is in Korea. He's got like this one yoga studio he does all his posing routines in.
yeah.
I thought I saw him in the Dragon Lair like quite a few times.
Okay. Okay. Hey, you could be right.
Anywho,
You should get some.
yeah.
You should get some more pictures in there if that's the case. I'll check his story. But this is
Mhm.
from what, February 14th, and that's a while ago now. But it's one of the better physique pictures. If the guy shows up shredded, people are going to be in trouble. He could be top two, standing right next to Tonio.
On on my page, you can look the last post. If you go to picture number 8, I think there's a front double that's really recent of his from that gym studio I was talking about.
Oh, okay. It's a video
No, no, it's just a picture. It's like a collage of all the competitors.
on Sung Cho Lee's page?
No, no, on my page.
Oh, on your page.
If you just
Well,
go to his
let's get
tags,
over
it'll
to
be
the
there.
let's get over to the Bodybuilding News Network.
Yes, yes.
Shouldn't be far down here,
Oh,
actually.
I don't want to watch you scroll and look for it. That hurts.
Yeah, you know how it is. You go through a lot of
Oh yeah,
Instagram pages.
yeah.
But there you are.
Number 3, I'll take it.
See, you're up there.
Yeah, that one right there.
Eighth one down.
The no, the first one. It's a
Oh,
collage,
okay.
or what do you want to call it? Slideshow. There you go.
Yeah.
He's
Oh
about in
yeah,
the
you
middle.
did a good job on these. Well, we're gonna miss you at this one, Patrick. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah,
There you go. See,
yeah. So the best we've seen
incredible
him it
shape.
was at that Olympia where Phil Heath came back, and since then, just really haven't seen it.
No, we haven't. Incredible shape, and this isn't a true representation of the legs because it's kind of, as Mark would say, tilted dosely.
Yep, exactly, 100%.
Yeah. Again, sorry, Mark. We miss you. You're not here.
He's here in spirit
In spirit, indeed, he is.
with the shameful plugs or shameless,
Shameful.
shameless.
No, you can go with
Maybe
shameful.
shameful.
People,
Yeah.
yeah. Let us know. Is it shameful or shameless in the comments?
Mm. Words are
We
hard.
already know the answer. Sung Chul Lee, if he shows up in shape, it's gonna be some trouble. Top two, top
I'd
three
put him in
is
third.
serious potential. Yeah,
I think so.
absolutely.
I think he can knock off Ross, even though Ross is big.
Ross is big. I think Ross was the next one on the list.
Ooh. Yeah, I didn't want to throw you off your flow.
No, no, no. I can go right back to your page. Actually, that's even better. Okay, what was this? A week? Yeah, this was a week ago.
Mm-hmm. I think the back
Like,
is probably his weakest shots.
I do like the X frame. You can see the potential, and the
Yes.
conditioning is pretty good. You can see striations through his traps. That's and
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty crazy.
It's just he
Yeah,
just needs probably a good 10, maybe 20 pounds to really be in that conversation. But the structure's there. The clavicle width is there. He's got nice lat insertions. They're not too high. You can see them tying in all the way down into those lower traps. The
really,
spinal
really good
erectors
build.
look very nice and detailed just above the glutes. Something you typically don't see.
The separation
Especially,
here
yeah.
from the spinal erectors to the waist, you can really see the definition there. It's like it's even beyond what you would see in a typical Christmas tree.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, wrong pose for that, but
Yep.
it's to
Ooh,
have that kind of
he's gonna have a
detail.
nasty Christmas tree. I think so.
Oh
Put
yeah,
put tan on him. Get him in the right lighting.
yeah, 100%. Good leg thickness from the side. Good leg thickness from the side. Chest is full, thick, good size there.
You think he's standing up too much?
I think that he could be
Yeah.
not only like the bend at the knee is not bad because that hamstring is really accentuated, but he can keep the same angle but just sit down a little bit more,
Mm-hmm.
right? If he sat down, he like right from the glutes, if he sat down and then maybe had a little bit, not even the arch in the lower back is good. Yeah, he's just gotta sit
You
a
know,
little more.
you know what it might be? It might be that I think it's a two-parter. One, I think he just trained legs because there's not a lot of vascularity or separation in those quads. And typically you see a week out, you see some sort of vascularity, some sort of feathering. Two, look at the glute. The glute is completely disappeared in favor of the hamstring, which makes me think he's squeezing the glute too much and it's really thrown off the whole shot.
You're right. There's not a
He's
lot of
not sitting
separation.
into it. It's a great shot, but it could be so much better.
His hamstring is massive in this shot. It even
Phenomenal.
without typically you'll see guys get that really big hamstring drop when they are sitting down like I'm talking about, but he
Yep.
doesn't even need to do that and his hamstrings still look huge from the side. But you're right about the separation between the glute and hamstrings. If he just had that little bit more of a sit down and then he wasn't flexing potentially so hard through there, and these are
Mm-hmm.
just from the still pictures obviously, but yeah, I think you might be right.
He's got the glute detail and definition and thickness from those back shots. He had clams
Of course
going
he
there.
does.
Look at those things.
Shredded, dude. Shredded. Awesome.
You know what? Those glutes
Crazy
might actually
detail.
be a little undersized compared to how big his legs are. Maybe that's what it is. Because they are shredded, but they're not like think of who has really good glutes?
Oh,
Kamal. Think about Kamal El-Gardni's glutes.
yeah,
Monster glutes.
Big Rami.
Huge. Oh yeah, Rami also. Rami's probably the best glutes. Compare those two
Yeah.
glutes. I know it's not fair for Ross, but I think I think he might need some more thickness in the glutes, which is probably the only time I've ever said that about a male competitor.
Yeah, I think we've been speaking about this guy's glutes for long enough. Well,
Hey, nobody else is talking about Ross's glutes. This is unique content.
well, those are the only shots that he showed anyway, aside from the side. You know why? Because he
Where's the
knows.
front double?
Because he's got a really good front double too. Ross, what are you doing, dude? I mean,
That
with
makes
all
me
due respect,
worried. Dom Cardone, what's
he's.
going on, man?
I've
Tell
seen
your
some front
clients start
shots from.
sharing those front doubles.
Yes, I
If you're
want to
not
see an
showing
abs
it,
and
that means you're
thigh.
hiding it.
Yeah, right. I want to see
It's a
like an abs
BNN
and
quote right
thigh
there.
too. Uh, oh yeah.
Oh, there we go. Here's some front doubles.
Now this is from April the 4th. I think I'm reading that right.
That's a
Yeah,
great
April
front
4th.
double.
Yeah, yeah, it is. His legs look huge. The quad sweep is fantastic,
Yeah. Fuad
dude.
and Trigili in the comment sections. A rare combo. Fuad.
Fuad. Oh yeah, I see him there now. Yeah, crazy, dude. Crazy.
Great
This is a
taper,
really
crazy quad
yes.
flow, thick calves, really thick, long calves. Great
And you know what?
triceps, nice biceps, thick forearms.
Not
I
to
mean, geez.
not to mention crazy as 10 bags of hammers. Completely off his rocker. 24/7.
He is pretty fun. And he's got a sweet
No, he
stash.
is.
Free
Dude,
points.
like I've said it in videos before. Ross really has fun with this, you know? He does.
Mhm.
I think he has more fun as a bodybuilder than like 99% of the bodybuilders out there.
Well,
He
99% of
does.
bodybuilders don't make their income, make their living off of selling sauces. You
He's
know,
the
and
bodybuilding sauce boss.
he also owns a bakery as well. So it's like the dude's got a he's got a good life figured out for him. You know, now bodybuilding is truly a passion for him and a
He's got a
profession.
good sense of humor. Yeah, he's got a good
Oh, he's
sense of
so
humor
funny.
about it all too. He
Yep.
injects so much of his own, personality and persona into what he does, and that's part of why he's so successful, right? Like
Yep.
he's a great character for bodybuilding all around. And you know what? I think that he's going to be I think he's going to be top 3 here because I think that he more than
Mhm.
likely will show up with better conditioning than Saunch.
Yeah, I agree. Historically, I
Way more
agree.
well, he looks way more shredded even now.
Yep.
We didn't see much of
Because
Saunch.
those that was over a month ago, and I think he looked better ahead than Mr. Choli.
Ross is going to be nuts. And he's going to be doing Toronto too.
Yeah. Yep.
Now, who didn't we look at here?
We didn't look at Josie Placencia. I like this guy.
Yes.
I just don't think he's because I remember he did a couple shows last year. Yeah, JPD. I like this guy. I just don't think he's in shape for this one.
This
I
here
think
was a
he's
few
gonna get
weeks ago, May the 8th.
yeah. I think he's gonna get heavily overlooked. Young
You think
guy
he's going to get
out of
lost in the bottom half of the lineup?
yeah, young guy. I thought he won his pro card at the same show Ian Valier did. Um, good dude. I've been following him for a couple years. But yeah, like I said, I think he's gonna get lost in the mix. The conditioning just isn't there to stand out.
This here was May 15th, so 10 days ago, about 2 weeks out. It's hard to tell with the goon light,
Yeah,
but he
I
doesn't look
mean,
bad.
when I see stuff like this, and hey, I respect the fanny game. A man that wears a fanny pack is a man close to my heart. But yeah, I think he's being pretty strategic with this video, and unfortunately, I don't want to be too negative. I think it's going to show.
I honestly didn't notice the fanny pack originally.
It's it's once you start wearing a fanny pack, then you start noticing the fanny pack.
Now I'm going to be looking for it in every shot that he does.
Yeah. Fanny gains. Hashtag.
Fanny gains. He
Great
does
tank
look.
though.
He
Got that Olympia
let's
brand.
see. Oh yes, this is kind of a weird tank. Anyway, it's not about that, but
That's like a leotard almost. The singlet. He chopped the crotch off a singlet.
it's like an Olympic jumpsuit from the 90s or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, he looks like Kurt Angle.
He looks like he's wearing one of those shirts that they would have wore. Do you remember? I don't know if you know Body Break.
Body break.
No, Hal Johnson and Joey McLeod. I think that was a local thing around here. But yeah, the '90s suits kind of thing. That's what he's rocking.
Ooh, yeah, those gymnast type stuff or the jazzercise. Let's get
Yes,
physical, physical. I wanna get
like in a Richard Simmons video.
yeah. Hale Johnson and Joanne McLeod. Body
Yes,
break.
Hal Johnson. Hal Johnson and Joanne McLeod. Yeah, they used to be
Yep.
on cable TV around here. They would give little tips on how to stay active in your everyday life.
Yep.
Body break, body break. Oh yeah. Anyway, we'll get into body break at some other point. When it comes to
Yep.
this guy's physique, aside from his shirt, I think he's going to be leaner than I expected.
Yeah.
I will say
Who
that.
knows? Maybe he peaks it absolutely perfect. I think he works. I mean, I feel like I'm tagging Milos and everything, but I think he works with Milos.
Okay.
Everyone works with Milos.
Everyone works with Milos that wants to
He is
get
he is
massive.
the coach of 2023.
He is so far. He is so far.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. He's big. You can't. It's hard to tell. He's not really showing us enough.
Yeah. He's
But he's
also
big
really
and
young, so he's the potential is there. So I hope he just takes this season as a lesson learned. This show, uh, maybe do a couple more shows if he wants to have some fun, and just keep working, keep growing, optimizing those off seasons.
yep. Get a clothing sponsor. Yeah. Um.
Yep, Hulk mode.
Um. Kung. I like it. No, I think you're right. I think in the next couple of years, especially if he dials in that conditioning, yeah, there he is, Milos right there. Yeah, you're
Hey,
right.
see, I know a thing or two. I'm
Or three.
maybe three. I don't want to push it. Oh, he's got
Yeah,
another
he's good.
Kong shirt on.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. So yeah, he works with Milos. Okay, we'll see. We'll see. He could be. I don't know if he shows up in crazy shape. He might be
He
able to
can move
stand
up.
next to a guy
Yeah.
like Marius. Yes, stand next to someone like Marius Tomzuk, he'd probably outsize him for one.
Mm-hmm.
If he's on a similar level of conditioning, it's possible. But haven't seen the legs, haven't seen anything from the back. Really don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. He doesn't show off too much. Yeah.
Go back.
Yeah.
Now, let's
I
see.
don't know if I put a picture in there of his competing or not. If you scroll through,
I don't
sometimes I
know.
like to.
We'll keep going.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, Mac Truck. Okay, we can check out Mac Truck.
Oh, this is Mac Truck?
Yeah, Wesley
Like
Boxley.
the Mac Truck?
Yeah, man. 5% nutrition
Oh,
Mac Truck.
wow.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
the, oh, wow. That's funny.
Yes,
Okay.
Mac Truck.
I look
I
forward to the
believe
day
so.
I have
Anyway,
a gray beard.
do you?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm in no
Not
rush.
everybody says that.
No, I don't know. I'm almost 30. I think I'm at the point where I'm looking forward to the future of like all the possibility, kids and I just bought a motorcycle, so kind of like starting to get into that new thing and yeah.
Okay, cool,
Yeah, I'm at a
cool.
very pivotal moment in my life.
Kids are great, man. I love having kids. Honestly, it's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
work, but I wouldn't know what to do without my kids.
Right.
I wouldn't know what to do. My boy's often here training with me, right? And before he was doing any amount of, even trying to do any amount of, well, training. I mean, he'll pick up a few weights and do whatever. He's 5, right? But when I would train when he was younger, he would just sit down by my cable crossover and he
Yep.
would just play on his tablet or he would control the music or whatever, right? Like,
Mm.
dude, it's awesome. Um, but anyway,
But
um,
anyway, segue.
um,
Nice
yeah,
segue.
I don't know. Mac Truck's definitely one of the smaller guys in this lineup. I think that his conditioning leaves a little something to be desired.
Yep. He's just not ready.
No, needs more
He, he,
size to the legs.
he needs more size, more conditioning. Um, and it's just that's not a good combo. You can need one, but when you need both, that's where you start falling in the placings. This
I
yeah,
don't.
this is
I
from
don't
what, a
know.
week and a half ago. That's
Yeah, roughly. Yeah. So he's
I'd
pretty
like
far
to see
behind
more.
here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's pretty far behind. Another guy that can get a hold of Milos.
Yep.
Yeah, Mac Truck. Used to watch him on the old Rich Piana videos.
Mm,
Oh yes. Rest in peace, Rich.
yep.
A
Yep.
legend. Legend. Nathan
The one.
Dandridge.
Yep. Yeah, this guy won
Not
his pro card
familiar
in the
with Nathan.
Masters. No, he's a
Okay.
open Masters. Not sure where we're going to see him in this lineup. How competitive he's going to be. Father Time just it catches up to all of us. But if you're turning pro as a master, it's very difficult to be competitive when you got guys 10, 15, sometimes 20 years younger than you competing.
Hats off to him for turning pro as a master. That's impressive. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's going to be tough. Go for the Masters Olympia if you're a
Yeah,
big
if
enough
you get the
name.
invitation, sure. And that's an
Hey,
open Olympia invite. So I think it's a great opportunity for people that might not have the ability anymore to win open shows. Absolutely.
yeah. No, this is 2021. That's not. This is where he won his pro card.
Yep.
Good size for the upper body.
Yeah.
But when you get older, the legs are the first thing to go. If he ever had them to begin with, I don't know. Little Tarek
It's
El
hard to
Gindi
say
action there too.
him turning pro. I mean, that's kind of the starting point for us here is media commentators is unless you're covering NPC shows, I do from time to time. This is who he is. This is Nathan. Um, so what his legs might have looked like 10 years ago, I don't think is really in the conversation.
I don't
And
think
when you
so.
come to
Nope.
judges, when this guy is going to get on stage, what the judges see is what's in front of them. They don't care that he turned masters pro. That's not irrelevant to them, or it is irrelevant to them. So,
Absolutely. Absolutely. But
but on a
I do
positive note,
the upper body size. I think his
mm-hmm.
arms are actually too big for his shoulders, to be honest with you. But looks like the waist is going to be in check. But he'll be closer to the bottom half of this lineup, I would say. It like you said, it's tough coming in from a Masters, right?
Yep, agreed.
I bet you he's going to enjoy the hell out of it, though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, yeah, it's a good front double bicep. I like it.
Yeah,
Okay,
great taper, tiny midsection, good
yeah,
conditioning in the legs.
yeah,
You know, yeah,
yeah.
we'll
We'll
see.
see where he lands.
I think the last guy I
Go
couldn't
back.
find was Rafael Del Real, and I know I've seen him compete before, so that's why I was kind of annoyed I couldn't find him.
Well, let's see if we can find it here.
Ooh, yeah, good call. Nope.
Nope. Nope. Okay.
I'm not a schlub when it comes to researching people. So if I can't find it and somebody else does, good. Hey, good for them.
Yeah, good on you. That's for sure.
Yeah.
No, that's what I say too. Like, not many things will get past me in the bodybuilding world, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, if you can find one, that's off to you.
Yep. I'll tag you.
So, 100%. So where do you
Ooh.
let's go with what's that?
Dan with Bodybuilders Without Borders, he just said Mike Hulusi just announced he's hopping in that. I'm not familiar with that one.
I saw that earlier, and he was the guy at the Pittsburgh Pro guest posing that looked way out of place.
Ooh, okay.
Yep,
Okay.
he was just in New York.
He could be first call out. Look at the conditioning, the
Yep.
legs, great legs.
Yeah, he
Good
changes the game
addition.
a little bit. His conditioning is fantastic. He was shredded, dude. He was shredded.
No, he looks good.
See if we can find something after the New York Pro. Is that possible here?
Well, that's the
We
recent
got
New York
stuff.
Pro, right? Did he do it this year or was that last year? It looks like this year.
No, He did it this year, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know where he finished, but he did it this year. He didn't look bad. There were guys that were just better than him, and
Yep.
that happens a lot, especially in New York.
I think the
Yeah,
conditioning in the photos looked a lot crisper than the video. Okay, buddy, just don't put your butthole on the microphone. I have to. Oh,
yeah.
cats are supposed to land on their feet, and he did not. He just thudded right on the ground.
Maybe there's a full moon or something wrong with the equilibrium. Their senses are off. I'll give your cat the benefit of the doubt.
To knock some wood. Yeah, he
Didn't
looks
trim his
good,
whiskers, did you?
but not. No. His whiskers are fine.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, he looks good. Yeah.
I'd like to
Not
see more
as
though.
crisp. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Those
This
prep
was
photos look phenomenal. But
well. Let's
what
go
do you
back
think? At
to
least top 6, definitely.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Top 6. This was before New York.
Not that top 6 even matters anymore. Unfortunately, there's no points. What?
No, there is no
It's
points.
people that compete and they know they're going to be outside top 6. They're really doing it for the love of the game, the love of the sport, because they're not getting money and they're not getting points.
100%. 100%. Sponsors, you could do it for sponsors.
Sponsors, yep. If there's some behind the door payments out there, then yep, sure.
Yeah. A lot of these guys, if you don't compete, you can make your money just off of Instagram. But
Yep.
I
Instagram
like
and
that there's
coaching.
guys out there I like that there's guys that'll do it just for the love of the sport too. I think that's important for the sport to have. You don't want guys to just do it for the money. And you'll never have that as the majority anyway, right?
Right.
You'll have Muscle Discord, shout out. I started watching their podcast lately.
Oh yeah, me too. Actually, I saw them. Yeah, I just stumbled
Yeah.
upon them.
Yep. Yeah, me too. So yeah, shout out there. But yeah, I'd say Mike will be top 6. I would say that he'll be a top 6 guy.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
But with that being said, I think we should go through where we think the top 5 might be. Predictions, if you will. Predictions.
Okay.
That's the word I'm looking for.
Mr. Jardine.
I haven't really given this much thought. Yeah, between when the list came out and now, I haven't really given this a whole lot of thought. But if I'm going to pick my top 6, I would say I would put Tonio in first. I would put Beef Stew in second. I'm gonna put Ross Flanagan in third. I think Ross is going to be third in this lineup. And after that is where it really gets difficult. If Saunch Lee shows up in shape, not only could he be fourth, but he could beat Ross. So I don't think that's going to happen, though. I think that Saunch Lee is probably going to come in with his typical conditioning. So based on that, I would say Marius Tomzuk in fourth. In fifth in this lineup, I think I would have to go with Slavoj Bednar, which would be great for him. I think that would be a great placing for him in this lineup. That if I was to pick a top 5, that's where it would be. After that, I think Saunch Lee will take 6th. And I don't know where these guys would really place. I have to see them standing next to each other. But that's where I think it's going to go. I'm pretty confident in that.
Are you? Because I think you just forgot somebody really important.
Halusi that we just talked about.
Uh-huh.
He's not in the pictures here, so it went whoosh. It's getting late here, dude. Anyway. So, okay, let me place him in the lineup now. I still say Tonio, Stu, Ross. I'm still going to say Marius Tomzuk, and then I would put Halusi, and then I would say Slavoj Bednar.
I think we're both on the same page. which is not exciting for podcasting. So I will say, if I say the exact same thing, please let me know down below, ladies and gentlemen.
I'll let
Tonio,
you know right now.
yeah, my boy Tonio, number one. I think Ross is going to come, or no, oh, apologies. No disrespect to Ross. Stu, second, the repeat of New York Pro. I think Ross is going to get third because kind of like what you just mentioned, we've spoke about a few times now. I don't think Saunch is going to come in shape enough to be in the conversation for top three here. So I think I would put Saunch fourth, but the guy we just mentioned, Mike Hulsey,
Michael Lucy.
Halusi, sorry. I think he's gonna be four, and then Saunch
Okay.
fifth, and I think that's exactly what you said. So my fifth will be, I think, Josu Placencia, I think, is going to make a surprise, and he's going to knock off Slavoj Bednar.
Really?
Yeah, I'll make it exciting.
Okay. No, your fourth place was different than mine because in fourth place I put Marius Tomzuk, and in
Oh, I
fifth
forgot
I had
Marius. Oh
Halusi.
Lord. Oh yeah.
See,
Dang
and
it.
he's right in front of you too. It was one thing for me to get about Halusi from 10 minutes ago, but this
I
guy was right in front of you.
I
So
wasn't even looking at
suddenly I'm
this. I
not
was
doing
looking at a
too
different screen.
well. Suddenly
um,
I'm not doing too bad, and it's a lot earlier where you are too.
I know, right? I've had like 3 energy drinks at this time. Okay, let me finish and then I'll have a tangent. Um, okay, I'm gonna have to knock off Mr. Josie. Apologies, my good friend. Um, maybe he'll get seventh, and then I'll put Marius. I think I'm gonna put him in front of Sung Choli. I think the
Okay,
conditioning is gonna beat out the just genetically blessed thickness. And
that's what I
California, I
thought
think
too.
historically hasn't been a mass monster show. You think you look at Patrick Moore, conditioned, really nice. You look, who's other people that have won that? Didn't Mohammed Shaban win it last year?
Last year, I can't recall who won it last year. I can check though.
You're gonna have to check because I don't use NPC News Online anymore, and I know they have the scorecards.
I usually just go to Google. Griffin
This
posed
is
that
where I
was a
plug.
Charles. It was Charles Griffin that won in 2022.
Ooh, he did, yeah, Charles. Oh man, yeah, we'll be missing
Love
him
Charles
until
Griffin,
his pec heals up perfectly.
which it is coming along quite nicely, and
Yeah.
his legs are getting absolutely jacked. That's for
Oh yeah.
sure. Not that they weren't before, but anyway,
But
we really need Mark
anyways,
back.
yeah, I know he's fun when
There's a
he's not
void,
like
Mark.
6 seconds behind.
Last one we did, whatever he did with his computer. Anyway, we've got an idea of what we're up against there. Last time, whatever he did with his computer, that was really really good because we didn't have any
Oh,
lag or
okay.
nothing. It was good. Yeah,
Okay.
Mark. Yeah, he'll be
Mark,
back next time.
Bob.
So yeah, the one guy missing from the Cali Pro, of course, Patrick Moore. I actually had somebody comment on my last video where I posted that Patrick was going to be out of the Cali, and they basically said, enough with Patrick Moore already. We don't want to hear about him anymore. He's not even worth talking about. And I was like, I mean, for me, I remember seeing him specifically at the 2019 Olympia and just being so impressed. And he was just the talk of the town for a
Mhm.
year.
Well,
He's
he also
running the
had
risk,
Phil
and I
Heath.
said it.
He had Phil Heath and Phil Heath's marketing team really, promoting him, tagging him to cross posting. I mean, he had a really good push right when he came into the industry.
He did, man. And he's definitely not fulfilled what everybody had when it comes to expectations. And I
Mhm.
don't think that he's going to meet the expectations, and we do have, as bodybuilding fans, really high expectations for this guy because we've seen just a hint of what, a little bit more than a hint. I shouldn't say a hint. The 2019 Olympia was ridiculous. And if he just would have put on another even 10 pounds and came in with that conditioning again,
Yeah.
dude, you would have had a guy that was placing top 5 for a couple of years in there, especially, come 2020. I think he would have been able to crack that top 5. But I don't think that he's going to end up I don't think he's going to end up making the improvements, at least not in 2023. And time is running out for him. There's another guy that could get a hold of Milos, and he would probably put the weight on him.
Yeah. Yeah. As people like to say, he's not a spring chicken.
No.
Looks like he was born in 1987, which isn't old because it's only 5 years older than me.
That's when I was born.
6 years older than me. Oh yeah. All right. So I mean, he's still technically in his prime. You can still be priming until you hit 40-ish.
I was born 2 days after Christmas, so I was at the very tail end of 87. I may as well be 88. I may as well be 34.
Yeah.
I may as well be 34. I'm going to stick with that. No, you're right about Patrick. This year,
I think a reason why Phil Heath kind of walked away from him is I don't think Patrick Moore's very marketable. He's not. I don't see him talking online, and I don't feel like he has a great personality for the camera. I don't know the guy as a person. Obviously, I'm not trying to take shots at people, except old Bobby boy. But I don't think he's very marketable. And Phil is a very marketable person doing documentaries, right? Stuff like that. Things of that nature.
Phil was the villain for many years. It worked for him though, and that was a different time. Patrick, I remember seeing some posts that he made responding to certain individuals online, and just seems like he really took that stuff to heart. And one of the things that you really need to harden yourself to with social media, and I know that he knows this by now, I think that he's found his way about doing social media where he has a balance of he posts as much as he wants to and the things that he wants to post about, but he's not doing it in excess like you would see a lot of competitors doing. But you really got to harden up to this, and I think he did. But at the time, it very clearly warranted a response as far as he was concerned. And that necessarily maybe was something where he could have taken the Dave Palumbo approach of saying, if you still feel the same way within 48 hours, then consider responding, or 24 hours, whatever it is that Dave said. But he's right. Give yourself some time to settle out a little bit, see if you still feel the same way, which has nothing to do with his physique, but we'll see how he does because he is going to do Orlando.
Well, he said he's going to do Cali as well, so we'll see.
Patrick Moore?
Yeah.
No, Patrick Moore's out of Cali.
No, he said he was going to do the Cali.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You're right. Yep, you're right.
So don't hold your breath. Things happen.
Now the question is, we were talking about if you were going to go to Cali. Well, you're in California. Are you going to go to the show?
I'm still debating it. Yeah.
Okay.
I know it's the worst thing to say. Oh, he's under the couch. The worst thing to say, but I have a couple hot dates lined up this weekend. So we will see. We will see.
There are probably many bodybuilding fans out there that have several gym quotes for you at this specific moment in time. So to speak on their behalf, I don't know what comes to mind. Bros before hoes, probably one.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, like is that a bros before hoes reference?
No,
because the dates are gym bro girls. One of them is a bikini competitor. So
okay.
But also, what about the fam? What about the BNN fam?
What about the fans? I mean, it's not that you can't do an amount of coverage.
I did miss Tonio at the Olympia, and he was kind of bummed out. So The thing is,
Yeah,
if I drive down there to make it there before the show starts, I'd have to leave here around like 2 or 3 a.m.
I got it. I got it. I'm a genius. I got it. Get two birds stoned at once, as Ricky would say. Take your date to the California
Mm,
Pro because they are gym bro girl, as you so eloquently put it.
yep.
Well, that was actually pretty
Yeah.
funny. Just I'm spitballing ideas, and I think it's genius. I just solved all your problems, man. You're welcome.
Mm. You know what?
Or
I don't think I'm
maybe I just
seeing.
created more.
I hope none of the girls I'm talking to watch my podcast. That'd be brutal. Well, no, this is on your channel. We're good. We're safe.
Ah, they
Unless you
definitely don't
become
watch
really, really famous in the next like 48 hours,
possible, but unlikely.
everyone watching, make sure you share this on all of your platforms. Help EP09 grow. He
Yes,
needs to
and
hit.
John will also grow Josh's reputation with the gym bro ladies.
Hey, if you are fit and Asian, I admire you very much. I would love to get to know you.
Man knows what he wants.
I I've found my niche and I've enjoyed it very much, and that's where we are. Yep.
Good for you. Good for you, man. Good for
Yeah.
you. Well, I hope you do make it to the show, though.
I the
For
more I think about
I
it, I'm pretty sure it's going to work because the date that I'm thinking of is Sunday. So if prejudging and finals is Saturday, let me check.
yeah, whatever it is, just don't sleep. You'll be fine.
Just don't sleep. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's a 6 hour drive each way, and we'll be fine. Nothing bad could happen from that, right?
Um. Well, we do watch on the next episode, so be safe
Yeah. Pull over when you get
at all
tired.
times. Indeed. Indeed. Yeah. Now, it'd be cool if you made it, but if not, we all have our obligations, and it won't be the last show that you make it to this year. I know that you've got some other shows that you're planning on being at, which is good. You said
The
Texas,
Legion is
right?
only like no, the Legion is I
Oh,
think
that's right.
2 hours away from me, so that's a really easy one to go to. I was on the Muscle Contest website, um, so I'm
When
definitely
is
going
the
to be at
lead?
that one.
When is the Legion?
I don't know. I think
Late
it's either
later in the
late
season.
summer. Yeah.
See, I like those later in the season shows because you'll have guys that'll come in and want to do a show getting closer to the Olympia, and they may not even tell anybody that they're doing it. That's I find that the later shows in the year is where you really have the really exciting, last minute drop ins kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Ooh,
So
you
that'd
know
be
what?
cool.
I think the fans here on EP09 are going to be in for a treat because prejudging and finals, I'll drop it in the chat for Mr. EP09, but finals and prejudging are Saturday. So I would not miss my date on Sunday.
It'll be an impressive talking point for your date, actually.
It will be. Yeah, I'll take all the
What'd you do?
pictures of
I
the.
just, yep.
I was just saying, like, I'll take all the pictures of the bikini competitors and send them to her and be like, "Hey,
I
this is
think you look
nice."
better.
Yeah, and she'd be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I look way better. Look at
You'll
this
be
new.
like,
Look at this
absolutely, you
fresh
do.
tan I just got on.
Looks great.
It did look great. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
11 a.m., 6 p.m. Yeah, dude. And kind of sucks
And
for me
11
over
a.m.
on
is
this part of the world, but
not that early.
well, that's 3 p.m. over here. 10 p.m. is a late start, but do what I got to do.
That means I'd have to leave my house around 4 a.m. to get there on time for prejudging.
It can be done.
Not great, not impossible.
Be safe. That's all I can say.
Yep. I'll have to. Oh,
Be
I
safe.
think I have a date Friday night too. I'll have to find a way to go to bed soon. See, this is why my content's slacking, is because I'm just on dates all the time.
No, dude, I'm finding it hard. Not harder, but I definitely have to manage my time a little bit more effectively right now because work is just getting insanely busy.
Mhm.
And we have several projects that we're being asked to do that is even outside of our typical local area. So we'll have an amount of travel. We'll probably have to do a podcast from a hotel room again soon within the next couple of weeks, which is fine. I can do it.
Nice.
But that'll be coming up, and a couple of interesting diving projects that I'm looking forward to. So once again, I'm looking at a diving season that certainly will not be without its excitement. We've got some interesting stuff that we're going to be doing again this year. Some of it's routine, but even within some of those routine jobs, we'll have little differences for the areas that we go to perform certain operations. So you can kind of do comparisons. And anyway, this is what I get at when it comes to doing this much diving and owning the company and all that fun stuff. But it's going to be a good season. When it comes to the content, definitely still going to be getting the content out there. I want to make sure that everybody is kept informed as much as I can on my channel. Whatever I got to do to put it out there. And I know that you've been like that. You've been on the grind for a long time too, right? So
been a few years. Yeah. Well,
yeah. And every so often you got to take a few days. Some people don't and they burn out, but
that's my strategy. I'll go for like a week or two hard, one video a day, and then I just burn out for like a week. At least that's what it seems. I keep looking back at like my scheduled post, and that's exactly what it looks like, is almost a video every day, sometimes two, and then just like a week gap.
Yeah.
So
I try to find that balance of,
yeah.
And for me, that's like 4 to 5 videos a week is realistic for me when it comes to running my company currently and how busy we are. And I'm very hands-on with the company too, right? Like when it comes to the dive team, we need 4 guys on the dive team. And most of the time lately, it's been me supervising the dives. So it's a very hands-on process, and the work doesn't end when you leave the dive site either. There's written reports and video editing. A lot of people don't know that's where I got my start with video editing, was through diving. That's how it started.
You do have some of the best thumbnails I've seen in a long time. So whatever you're doing is, it really stands out. So much so that Trigili's trying to copy your color palette.
Well, let's be fair. It's not Trigili's color palette. It would be the company that he works for,
that he established as an LLC like 2 minutes before he made the video.
I actually looked up the about section on his newest YouTube page, and it says that it's owned by a company called Tech or Fitness LLC.
Yeah, okay. He thinks he's smart.
They are potentially, if it's the same company that I found on Instagram, a social media management company. However, I do not believe that it was bodybuilding and BS in particular that was banned from YouTube. My understanding is that it was Nick Trigili that was removed from YouTube. So it doesn't matter if the Pope himself starts a YouTube channel and Nick manages it and is the face of it. I don't think it's going to matter. I think it's probably a matter of time until it's removed again. And I actually, to be honest with you, what I did was I looked at the Old School Labs channel where they had the Muscle Maturity podcast.
Yep.
And I asked John Hansen about that. I was like, why were all those videos taken down? And he said YouTube specifically removed them because Nick was on there. So Old School Labs didn't do it. Samir Benut didn't do it. It was YouTube. So why wouldn't they do the same thing when they catch on to the BS in sports?
They will. Yeah. And I think that there's a lot of fire behind it right now of people not liking him. So I don't think the channel is going to be able to grow the way it did before. It's going to come and go like an ember in the wind.
You really don't think he'll be able to build his audience back up that quick? He did it before.
He did it before, but there's a large gap between those two channels. There's a lot of heat on him right now. He might be able to grow it just because people like the underdog story of a guy that, I don't know how it's an underdog story, but I think people are going to flock to him for a lot of different reasons. But I don't think
a lot of people have.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think people flock to him because people like his style of news. I mean, I talked to him, full transparency. I talked to him offline a few times. He gave me a lot of great recommendations on how to optimize the channel, search engine stuff. So like we had a good relationship, but when he's just bashing and saying false things about some of the idols within the sport that I love, that's where you kind of have to take a stand where it's like, okay, am I going to just sit here and just be like, oh, well, he did something nice for me? Or am I going to voice my opinion to my audience and be able to sleep at night?
Got to be able to live with yourself, dude. But
Exactly.
I think Nick is able to do that with what he's doing. Obviously, he is. He's very confident in what he puts out there.
Mhm.
And he's the first guy to say he is. He's the first guy to say this is BS. You know, he knows what he's doing, man.
Yeah.
I actually, I'm going to disagree with you a little bit. To the point of, I think that Nick is going to be able to grow his channel back even faster than he did previous. I think
Yes.
that he
Faster.
has
Yeah.
I think he has one of the most dedicated audiences of any other bodybuilding YouTube channel out there. His fans love him, man. They love him. They can't like they literally thought that like when he was off YouTube, people stopped tuning into YouTube fitness altogether.
Mm. Well,
It's
toxic
crazy.
people attract toxic people. And whether or not Trigili is an actor or if this is truly the East Coast type of person that most people think he is, uh, people of that caliber, whether it's bad or worse, are going to flock to, their negative messiah. And I think that that's exactly what's happened here with the bodybuilding and BS is you're just attracting not great people to a not great product.
You said it yourself. Is there a place for him? Yeah, there's a place for him. Um,
That's
but you
probably
know, it's
Patreon where he can monetize it. He can take his super fans, like I say, and he can monetize it in a safe environment where he can still make a living. I'm not saying to deplatform the guy. YouTube is doing that. It doesn't matter what I say. And
yeah.
he is on Rumble
And
as well,
again,
and that's monetized.
that's right. I don't want to see anybody lose their livelihood. Absolutely not.
Mhm.
Respect for the things that he can do on YouTube and the things that he can accomplish, and the
Oh yeah.
even the feathers that he can ruffle. Dude, props. Anybody that'll ruffle Bob's feathers, I'm gonna be tuning in. I'll tell you that right
Mm.
now. But it's when he does things like he put a post on his Instagram there not long ago, and I actually mentioned this to the guys on Muscle Discord as a talking point as well because I'd like to know their opinion. Shout out to Muscle Discord again. But Nick made a post on his Instagram where I don't know if you saw it, but he said that he
No.
spoke with Steve Weinberger and that after every pro show that takes place, he was literally going to be on the phone with Steve to get the rundown on why competitors placed where they did. And Nick, in very plain language, said this. He said, "There's no more guessing why competitors were where and who placed where for what." He said, "I'm going to get the info straight from the man himself." And I was like, huh. Well, the New York Pro just happened, and Steve Weinberger it's his home show. Where was the coverage on that? I didn't see it. Maybe, and I even considered the fact, well, Steve doesn't judge every show. So I
No.
actually put a comment on that post about that. I was like, Steve doesn't judge every show. What about the shows that Steve doesn't judge? And I think he just posted something on there like, no, every show, something to that degree. And I was just like, okay. So I
I
let a
mean, the
show go
guy,
by, and here we are.
he's clearly a liar. He's clearly someone who manufactures stories to get views and
He's a
manipulate the
BSer.
truth. He
He's
whatever, yeah,
he's a
whatever
BSer.
branding he wants to put behind it. It's clever. Um, I don't think he's a net positive for bodybuilding. And
And yeah,
when he puts stuff out like this, and there's no offense to you, but you putting your energy and your focus and your platform's focus behind it, I mean, is that a net positive for bodybuilding, or are you just kind of fueling this guy's ability to make a living off of manipulating and essentially hurting the competitors that we love? I know it's kind of a little bit sharper of a comment than I typically do, but I just don't think it's a good. I don't think it's a net positive for bodybuilding.
Well, I think one of the nice things about myself and you is that we can have these conversations and just still speak with an amount of respect. So
Of course.
I I absolutely can agree with that outlook on the coverage of Nick. The reason I cover it is because it is news in bodybuilding. Nick had a big following,
Mm,
and because he had that big following and it is relevant news, I'm going to put it out there, especially for myself being I haven't been around YouTube for very long. It's been less than a year. You know, I started back in mid-December before the Olympia. So for me, the community of YouTube is still something that I'm very, very much interested in. I
mm.
love going like that's where I got my start. I find now that I'm more consumed with just putting up my own content more so than just watching others content, although I'm still a regular viewer of even bodybuilding and of course Mark and of course you and Goat Fitness. You know, I watch these guys all the time. Um, some of the longer podcasts I don't watch as much of, although I am a
Yeah.
big fan of the Canadian Beef podcast with Robin Strand and Morgan McDonald.
Yeah.
Great
Tyler
podcast.
Johnson. Yep. Great
Yep,
dudes.
they are. They're great dudes. But yeah, it
I
comes down
interviewed them
to,
at the Olympia. Did you see that?
oh, dude, I'm sure I saw it.
Yeah,
I'm sure I
it was
saw it.
fun. It was the first time I met Robin in person and Tyler, so it's good.
Yeah. But no, the thing with Nick, it's big news, so I report on it. That's basically what I can
All right,
say.
you got to do what you need. You got to do what you got to do to grow. And I think I was there at one point where if I saw something like Mike O'Hearn or Greg Doucette, Athlete X, like anything fitness related that I knew was going to get clicks, I'd make the video. Although I had really zero interest in doing it, and I'm not saying I'm not telling you what to do. For me, I just wanted to be more authentic with my fans because for how often I burn out and take breaks, when I do make content, I want it to be BNN's mission statement, advocating for athletes and promoting shows. Is the content I'm making fulfilling my two mission statements? If no, why am I doing it?
It's
And that's me.
important.
And that's me. You
It's
know,
important to make sure that you're getting your fulfillment from the energy that you're putting into this.
I was,
That's why I needed to start doing YouTube to begin with, was because
mhm.
I did not have that outlet for that energy.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
didn't have it. Now I do. And it's been oh man, it's been awesome since I joined YouTube. I gotta say, like, I love every single minute of it. Like being able to do stuff like with guys like you and some of the insight that you've given me too. Like it's great, man. I really do enjoy it. And I enjoy speaking with guys like you, and I've spoken with Xavier a few times now, and
Great guy.
Krishan over there at Goat Fitness. Like
Yep.
even taught like I've spoken with Tonio and Kareth Bajo and Tonio's coach Dylan Blum. I talk to him on a fairly regular. Like this is all really cool stuff for me too, as a fan of the sport, right? And still
Yep.
being able to cover it at the same time, being able to get involved in the comments section. I've got great people that comment in my comments section. It's always good conversation. People leave me paragraphs, dude. Like it's great. I love it. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm. That's what
And when
keeps you
these
coming
shows,
back.
yeah, you're 100% right. And when
Yep.
these shows come up, being able to cover those, and really be engaged with the content too, right? Not just checking the results the day after, like I was kind of subject to before I started doing this and really concentrating on it. It's awesome. Cali Pro, I think, is going to be no different. I'm going to be tuned into that. I'm glad that these shows have live streams on a regular basis now, too.
Mm-hmm.
That's wicked for guys like me living in the North Atlantic Ocean. Not many bodybuilding pro shows happen around here, you know. The closest one's Toronto, and you got to drive for 20 hours.
20 hours?
20 hours to Toronto, dude. Yeah.
You're in the boons. You're in the sticks.
Dude, you can't get any further east in Canada unless you hop a ferry over to Newfoundland from where I live.
That's
Yeah.
wild.
It's the North Atlantic Ocean, man. It's it's a crazy place to live when it comes to weather and just geographically some of the different places you can go in a short drive when it comes to the highlands around here. And but anyway, these live streams for shows, really make it especially engaging for me, not just as a YouTuber, but also as a fan. So I'm really looking forward to the show coming up. You got my picks. I got your picks. We'll see who's going to be right. Mark will get his later.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I hope you make it to the show safely.
I think I will. Yep.
Yeah. And if you do, definitely report back on it. I'll be tuning into your channel, of course. Everybody, if you live under a rock, need to go and check out the Bodybuilding News Network, of course, with your host, as always, Josh Saunch, which we'll just bring up your page here before we push off. We had it up there previously.
Yeah. Shameless plugs.
No, shameful. We agreed, right?
Shameful. Yes. Yes. Shameful plugs. Shameful. Game of Thrones style.
It's not working. What the
Canadian internet?
Not supposed to curse on here. I'm going to be demonetized. There we go.
I think you get one F word, so I think you're good.
Oh, well, I'll make sure that I get one in every episode. And you guys can comment down below moving forward. Timestamp where you guys find it. Then I'll know that you're tuning in. So yeah, the Bodybuilding News Network, ladies and gentlemen, with your host, Josh Saunch. The Saunch, as I calls him.
The Saunch?
The Saunch, yeah.
Yeah. I think the Cali Pro is going to be good. That'll be my third pro show I've been in person, so look forward to a lot of fun in-person interviews. If you have questions for specific athletes, please DM them to me. That's the easiest way for me to see it. I do get lost in the comments after all the years of me making videos. It's shocking how many comments just pop up every day from so many different old videos. One of my biggest videos, I think it's almost over 1 million views at this point, was the 2020 women's bodybuilding finals top 4. And I get a couple thousand views on that every month. Which is
crazy, man.
It's weird because it's like, why are people still watching this? But it's the number one video for that year's women's finals. So if people want to see it, it's the first trending show. It's the first thing you see.
That's your Black album. That's your Metallica Black album.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Also,
if you get the reference.
No, I didn't listen to that kind of music. I was a sheltered Christian boy when I was a child.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The most exciting thing I got to listen to was Santana's Collector's album. Yeah.
Not that I don't know Santana, but yeah, I grew up. My father would listen to stuff like ZZ Top and bands like
ZZ Top. Down with it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's where from a very young age. But I was given an album from a California band, The Offspring. My cousin gave me that when I was 8 years old, and that was it from there. That was it. Yep, punk rock and metal. That's where I live.
Yeah, and I'm listening to classic Japanese, like late 1980s pop music right now.
I see where the reference came from earlier. Now, gotcha.
Yeah. It's literally, I could show you like my top 30 songs right now, and it's all either modern Korean pop or it's just like Japanese symbols. I mean, I'm telling you, like I'm authentically me. And right now I'm enjoying that so much that I started learning Japanese last night. So we'll see how it goes.
Nice. That's awesome, dude.
I think my name, Sanchigro, sounds really good if it was Sonchiguro. Sonchiguro-san. Sonchiguro-san.
Sonchiguro.
That's too much. That's too much.
Hey man, you keep it going. I don't mind it at all. It's funny. My father actually, my father was reading a lot of old samurai books and some of those older like movies back when I was before I was born. And Ken Sin is actually Ken, the son of Ken, but he originally wanted to be Kensan, as Ken's son, which is, of course, a term of respect in
Mr.
Yes, exactly, right.
Mr. Kim.
But my mother wouldn't have it, so they picked a different vowel. I wish they would have went with an I.
Kensign.
No, Ken Sin.
Oh, Kenson. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's how it's pronounced.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and my
You're right.
buddy in high school said it would be more badass. So,
Mm.
yeah. But
I wish I would have been named
anyway,
J Dog.
J Dog.
J Dog. Yeah. That's what they called me back in the day. No, no one called me J Dog.
Saunch is good.
I was
Saunch is a
Saunch.
good
Yeah.
name.
I was Saunch since I
Yep.
was elementary school.
Yep.
Or
Yep.
the Saunch. They'd be like, the Saunch. Or the Saunch. They put
Yes.
like an O in there. Saunch.
The Saunch. I
The
like it.
Saunch. Yep. They'd yell it from the bleachers when I'm on the football field. Running down the field, 200 plus pounds of me. I'd move like a freight train.
Go Saunch.
Yeah. That's where all this brain
That's
damage
it.
came from.
Well, we're all into bodybuilding, so many would argue that there's enough wrong with all of us.
Oh man, dude, like some of the girls I've been talking to, they're like, dude, you have a serious eating disorder. I'm like, yeah, I know. Chicken and broccoli. What else do you need? They're like, everything.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you mean you don't have a food scale? Like,
You don't have 5 food scales?
yeah, like I'm not the weird one here, darling. Like, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
You know what? I got roasted the other day. You can kick me off whenever you want. I got roasted the other day because I only have 1 skillet and 1 spatula. And I'm like,
You're one
I'm a
person.
man. I'm a simple single man. Why would I need 2 skillets? I have 1 good spatula. Why would I need 2?
When the time comes and you decide that you need more cooking utensils, you will purchase them.
Well, I have stuff in storage. Like I have a whole like kitchen set with like the pots and pans and stuff, the baking sheets and blah, blah, blah. I don't need that. I have 1 deep dish baking pan where I can cook chicken in bulk. And I have 1 skillet if I want to sear the chicken. What else does Saunch need?
Do you make smoothies and stuff like that?
Yeah, I have like a really nice big Nutri Ninja. Yeah.
Okay. Do you just rinse it out when you're done without actually physically washing it all the time and just put it back because you're the only person consuming from it?
Maybe.
Yep. Dude, that's how I used to do it. I'm telling you right now. Before kids and everything like that. Yeah, dude, I'm the only one fucking drinking from it. Even stuff that I have now, pre-workout cups. Dude, that's rinsed and used 3 or 4 times. No, but the 1 cup, I'll use that 3 or 4 times for a thing of yeah.
Sniff test. If it's been closed a little too long, just kind of, okay, we're good.
Yeah, you don't leave them in the car.
Take the lid off, make sure there's no mold on the inside. You're like, okay, this is good.
You can leave that stuff in the truck overnight in the winter, but
Ooh.
you can't do it. You can't do it in the summer. It's just too hot. Actually, in the winter, oftentimes it's frozen the next day.
Probably the worst thing I've ever done with that sort of thing is I have a black truck and I left the shaker in there with the water and I didn't bring any extra water with me. So I just put the pre-workout in the somewhat hot day old water that's been cooking. And you could taste the plastic.
Gross.
Hey, everybody wants to be a bodybuilder, but nobody wants to drink no day old hot water.
Hey, have we been there? Absolutely, dude. I've been there. I mean, there's times when that's the only thing you got is your really hot pre-workout that was in the car all day, right? You're drinking it. You ain't going in without it. It's no different than there's been times over the years where I would forget a pair of gym pants and I'm wearing my, Carhartts from work or something like that, right? It's like, well, I'm not skipping the gym. There was a Walmart just down the road from the gym. You would drive down, it would take 2 minutes. You drive down to the Walmart, you pay $12 for a pair of sweatpants, and you get back up to the gym and you get her done.
Yeah. For me, it was working out in my army boots. I forgot to pack shoes, and I always have shorts on underneath. Well, when I was in the army, I always had shorts on underneath my pants because the pants are loose enough. And I would just take the pants off, work out in my army shirt. But every once in a while, I'd forget my shoes, and then I'd have to work out in my boots, which It was fine. It kind of made me look like a construction guy.
You do what you got to do.
Yep.
Yep.
Got to do what you got to do to make the gains.
I'd go into the gym and I'd be signing in, and I'd look at the owner, Moxum Fitness. Shout out to Moxum, best hardcore gym that you'll find around here. But
What's up?
I'd go into the gym, and I'm going to sign in, and then I sit down to put on my shoes, and I look at my gym bag, and I'm like, oh man. And the pre-workout would be kicking in at that point too, right?
Yep.
So not only do you gotta go down to Walmart to buy the pants, but you gotta have another scoop of pre-workout too.
Another scoop. Good Lord. Oh. You're not just like sitting there itching, the beta alanines just tingling all over your face.
Well, once it goes away, by the time I get down to Walmart, by the time I buy the pants and then get out of Walmart, you get into the parking lot, you fire another one back, and then you're back on the floor within 15 minutes at the gym, and you're good to go.
Yeah, 600 milligrams in 1 hour. Yeah, that never killed anybody.
Yeah, my mother used to own a coffee shop for 20 years, so I mean, I've got lots of got lots of tolerance built up.
Yeah, you got the genetic blessing where it's just you could just do iced coffees all day.
I'll take the tolerance. I'll take it. Actually, I should get rid of it and stop doing pre-workout, but
yeah, siphoning off.
We all have our vices. Yeah, yep. we all have our vices. Some people have trend, some people have pre-workout. Here we are.
Yeah. Asian ladies, we all have our vices.
We certainly do. Some that are larger than others, we'll say. Pre-workout.
Yeah, they're not very tall. No, 5'1", 5'2".
Okay. On that note, we're gonna call it.
Oh,
that was great. All right. Listen, if you make it to the Cali, good luck. Drive safe. I can't wait to see a recap either way from you. Like I said, everybody go check out Bodybuilding News Network if you haven't as of yet. You've got problems, just like me and Saunch do here. But yeah.
Where all the action's coming from this weekend. This will be me.
To see it, dude.
Tonio, what are your thoughts on prejudging?
What do you think? I won.
It's like, I already won. What are you talking about? Oh, okay. Just making sure. That's what I was going to say the whole time. Yeah. I'm your biggest fan. Will you sign my baby?
This is going to be a really quick interview, isn't it? Yep. Yep. All right. Good luck, dude. I'm gonna sign off for now.
All right. I'm gonna go do chest and shoulders.
You enjoy. I did back earlier. It was wicked. Yeah, you enjoy.
I will.
All right. Later.
All right, ladies and